Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing super, thanks. How are you?
Fine, I'm fine. So you're into cosmetics.
Yes, I am.
What inspired you to get into that field?
It's actually very random. For those who personally know me, I'm actually naturally a creative. I love painting. I'm actually an artist and a dancer. However, I feel like I should have lived in a bubble because I have such sensitive skin. So for the past, I would say almost 10 years, I've just been doing my own products for myself because I pretty much react to almost anything that's on the shelf right now. So what really actually triggered me to now turn that into a business was when my uncle passed away from skin cancer. So it actually ignited this hunger to just keep doing more research on different skin disorders and hair disorders, and then just finding that niche with now using the focus of essential oils in our products that have been helping me with my different health conditions to now help other people out there who are probably suffering from the same sensitive skin issues as me. Yeah.
So to someone who doesn't know, please give us a brief history of Ilotu Cosmetics.
Ilotu Cosmetics. Ilotu means it's beautiful from Zambia. I'm from Caprivi. So, because we just want our viewers, number one, to see beauty when they see all these vibrant colors and to also feel themselves again, hence why our slogan is because you matter. So we focus on our key ingredient being essential oils because of the different medicinal roles they play, such as having antifungal properties, anti-inflammatory properties, antiseptic properties, and so forth. So therefore it allows us to be able to cater to persons with eczema, dermatitis, if you have any crazy ranges of acne, if you have balding spots in your hair, foot issues, and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So cosmetics is such a sensitive industry, especially for us in Africa,
Yeah.
if I must say. How is business doing for you, especially being a female SME company? How is it been?
It's been very interesting. I mean, it has its highs and lows. As you mentioned, cosmetics as an industry, it is a very highly saturated industry. Therefore, it really, really challenges you to find a way to really stand out. So we, number one, decided to find our value proposition of standing out by offering, number one, products that actually give you results by tackling certain health ailments. So we don't like to consider ourselves as another A1 brand. That's number one. And then being natural, seeing how the world is going very green these days. I also come from a very green family, so to say. We're very involved in fitness and a very clean lifestyle, so it actually made it very easier for me to stick to products that also complement a green eating diet as well. And now being a female entrepreneur, it's very exciting because we're also now in a time where women are kind of starting to run the show a little bit. So it's almost also another selling point for our business, especially seeing women that are not the stereotyped women in a sense of we're highly emotional, we can't make decisions and so forth. We actually show that we can make decisions, in fact really great decisions, because we're able to feel so deeply. And it has challenges because it's still a very male-dominant field as business as a whole. So every time I do attend conferences and so forth, like 70% of the people in the room are still men. So there are those men that do kind of try and see if they can get what they want because they think I'm female. Like if I really have to go personal, but I've actually literally had some people actually want to give me amazing proposals, but under the condition that I go on a date with them. So it's also very disappointing because I've lost out on amazing deals and what I could have considered as a breakthrough for the company just because I refused to have dinner with certain people. But that's when my character was really tested to really see the integrity I want to have behind my business and me as a person to really make sure that I will get to where I need to be but without having to compromise on my morals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strong
Yeah.
principle. We like that. We encourage that. We all
Yes.
females. Okay, so how many or which of your products are made from organic material and biodegradable material?
Okay, so number one, we're a combination of natural and organic. There actually is a difference. So natural being, we still focus on the different plant materials that we use to make this product and give you the benefit of the plant itself that you want. However, to preserve that natural ingredient, we make use of synthetic, still harmless preservatives to keep it together, with the focus being the natural plant material. But a few of our products are still organic, like our oils especially and our scrubs, because we actually plant our plants with organic fertilizer and so forth, extracting the oils and putting it together. So those are organic, so we have a blend in that area. We offer quite a wide range of products. As you can see, we have 3 different body creams. And we have different shampoos and so forth, because different clients do have different responses in terms of results and what they want. So really try to just keep our clients on their toes with releasing new lines, releasing new ranges and different smells and so forth. So yeah.
Okay, cosmetics is mostly viewed as a female associated industry or product. Do you have anything for males?
Yes. So it's mostly seen as female because we like smelling pretty, we like feeling clean. I'm not saying that men don't like being clean, but but that's another way of how we want to captivate the male audience, by making sure our products are focused on the skin condition, not so much beauty. So we also have almost the same amount of male clients as well as females. So we offer pretty much everything here is a unisex product. But we also try to make certain niches for men specifically. So for example, here with our beard oil, we give it a brown bottle just to kind of have a bit of a masculine feel to it. We have lemongrass cream, giving it more of a green compared to like the purple. Some guys don't mind purple, but a lot still kind of feel a bit weird about having a purple product in their gym bag. And then a mint shampoo. So also we try to make sure we have colors that are still vibrant, but still don't kind of throw off our male audience a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The government recently launched 3 platforms for the SME skills-based launch, 1,000 SMEs, and the other one is based on what you do and how you can make your product better or your company better. Do you think the government is doing enough though?
I'm trying to answer this question in a very professional
Considering
way.
that they have launched this platform, that's initiative. But do you feel like, despite what they're doing, are they doing enough?
Okay, I'm going to speak for me personally and for everyone that I work with. And by work with, I mean we are I'm part of NANCI. It's abbreviated for Namibia's Network of Cosmetics Industry. It's an NGO, mostly funded by GIZ. So they've come together and put myself and 16 other Namibian cosmetic companies, mostly women, to help us get to where we need to be, because unfortunately there is no proper support system in place for SMEs, despite what you just said. So even though you can see all these things come out in the media, facts remain that there's still not enough support, especially when you're trying to scale larger. And just coming back to me now, we're at a stage where a lot of retail companies have come to us and they want A, B, C, D from us. But the requirements really require us to actually have a lot of certifications behind our products that a lot of us don't have yet, because we cannot get them here. We do not have a certification body in this country, besides NSI, who at the end of the day still does send half the products to SA because they don't have everything. And even with NSI being there, they don't cater to SMEs. They still give us the same quote that they give to Hartleaf, meaning like $50,000 minimum. I don't even know how, but the quote that I almost received was close to like $100,000 just to get like one of the certifications that I needed, including ISOs and so forth. So we are still appreciative that they are trying to install all these things, but it's still very, very far from what we really need in order for us to really break the market, especially to export, because unfortunately our buying power is so small. We really rely heavily on outside help as well in terms of profit to really get us to where we kind of, let's say, million or billion dollar industry. So at the moment, majority of the help that I've been receiving was from GIZ and other private companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been in the business for long now,
Yeah.
and you've celebrated highs and lows.
Yes.
Can you just mention the best of both?
Okay, the best high was when we recently just partnered with Kohagana's Spa and Travel Lodge. For those who don't know, they're like one of Namibia's biggest, most well-known, award-winning spa and lodge in the country. They are our first spa. So we've done training with their therapists. They absolutely love Ilotu Cosmetics because they've been using South African products. So it felt very honorable to be the first Namibian product for them to use on their clients and also to still sell in their shops. So that was a very nice way for us to end the year off in 2019. The biggest low was after receiving a letter of intent from one of the biggest retail outlets that I cannot reveal right now until we actually are out there. It was a low because they need a lot of the requirements, as I mentioned earlier, that I can't get here. So now, together with some of my private investors and so forth, we are now working closely with SA to get all these certifications and stuff so that we can be able to now get into their shop. So it's just a bit of a low because we've had to now put them on hold for a few months now, and I don't know how much longer it will be until we get these in place. And it's a bit depressing as well to just see how I can't get that help from here. It would have been so much quicker and so much easier, but it is what it is. So as long as it's still underway, but it was actually there was a huge blow to see that no one could help me in the country.
Okay, with that said, does that make and mean that the cosmetic industry is actually not fully supported or structured in line with international standards?
In Namibia?
Yes, ma'am.
In Namibia, yes. I would say in Namibia, yes. That's why you do see a lot of cosmetic companies, a lot of, locally, it's like a lot of them are there, but I would say literally 95% of them are in the same boat with me in terms of getting what we need in order for us to actually start exporting, to become export ready, to become EU ready. So again, I'm thankful that organizations like GIZ have come to our rescue, but it's disappointing that we have to get that kind of help instead of...
Okay, so what would you suggest or what would you encourage for the standards to be elevated so that they suit your needs, not you as just Ilotu Cosmetics, but you as part of the cosmetic industry? Okay. What would be your suggestions and recommendations for the powers that be?
Sorry, could you please rephrase what you just asked me?
I'm asking, you're saying the standards are not where they're supposed to be, right? Here in terms of the cosmetic industry.
Yes, there are no bodies in place to get us to be at the standard we need to be.
So
yes.
On that, my question is, what would be your recommendations or your suggestions so that you go to that elevated status where you are able to sit at the same table with other cosmetic industries from other places, whether it's locally, regionally, continentally, and even globally?
Okay. I'll just start by saying that these bodies are slowly being implemented. Majority are still on someone's desk somewhere, but they are definitely being spoken about a lot. For example, with the barcode at least, we've been having tons of workshops on implementing our own barcodes. We're not at 200 signatures yet, which is what is needed to actually have our own Namibian barcodes. And that is an issue because even if I do go ahead and purchase my own, which is what we do through GS1, my products will still be seen as South African when they trace it back. So that's number one, just focusing on that. Number two, we've been in conversation with NUST. I'm speaking to someone personally at NUST to be using their labs to help us on a bigger scale in terms of manufacturing, and their facilities are up to standards based on what they have told me. They have everything that is needed to be seen as an accreditation body to give me those accreditation that we need, as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, whoever's overseeing them is, I don't know if they're not considering it or they're taking too long to go with the process, so that people in my size, us SMEs, can be going to them, and then later on we go to bodies like NSI ones where they're in terms of our bank account. So they are slowly being put into place. We just need to keep having these conversations, keep meeting with all these people, see why they are stuck. So I was glad to see that, hearing from us, that they are actually really, they just also are trying to push it so that they can be that SME support group in terms of manufacturing to help us with all our ISOs and so forth. So I would just suggest to just keep having conversations, keep making it louder, keep also it's also my job as an SME to show them that people like us exist, people like us who want to be like a Namibian L'Oreal brand, a Namibian Pantene, Dove, you know, we are there, we exist, we are ready. We just need those little pieces that unfortunately we can't do without certain people who need to be there. So people like me, so this is an advice to SMEs in my position, we also need to keep raising this concern, show our seriousness, because I feel like part of why they're taking long is that they don't have enough of meeting up SMEs with that kind of fire to show that it's going to be worth their money or worth their time or whatever exactly it is that's making them not really run for building such structures for us. So it really takes two to tango in this kind of situation. From us, we need to go there, we need to convince them, and they also need to I guess, prioritize a bit better to kind of see the importance of it, and we just work together. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been receiving awards, you've been on platforms that celebrate what you do, but how has been the feedback down on the ground?
Okay.
How has been the response?
You mean from my client?
From your clients, from your potential clients, from neutrals?
Okay.
Are you happy with what you're trying to achieve with your goals? Are you going in the positive direction with Ilotu Cosmetics?
Yes. We can fortunately say that we've been receiving amazing feedback from our clients, from our business clients as well, and from people that just randomly walk by our stand or something, and that goes from the way the product feels to from the way the results were to how the product itself also looks. I mean, I won't lie, I don't know if I should take it as a compliment or an offense when people ask if we're American because our brand doesn't look Namibian. I don't know what that means. So I'll take it as both, an offense only because I feel like that should just show that we as Namibians need to take the quality of our overall brand appearance more seriously, to show that Namibians can look really amazing as well. And also a huge thank you for actually saying that our brand does look reliable and it does look like something worth having and in your wardrobe and so forth. From our business, for example, they absolutely love the tone of our company, they absolutely love the seriousness, the quality that they've been receiving from the way we conversate to the product that we produce for their therapists. And that's really, really been encouraging for us to keep going. It's really also helped me go from, okay, this is a good idea, to wow, this is actually a good structure. This is something really amazing, and I want to see how far we can go. I mean, we obviously want to go as global as possible. So it's been very encouraging to keep pushing for and to keep increasing our services, so that we don't only stop here, but to branch into other departments within cosmetics as a whole as well.
Okay, nice, interesting.
Yeah.
Makeup is a form of art.
Yeah.
It brings out creativity in people. And lately there's been a trend of tattoo makeup.
Okay.
Can you please tell us what that is about and what initiates such trends? How will someone do what they do permanently, or in the sense of makeup?
It's a bit difficult for me to pinpoint why individuals do it, but from what I've heard of certain people who have done it, there are women out there who unfortunately don't have eyebrows. You know, I mean, for me, I'm glad, I'm fortunate that I have a full row of brows, and it really is, you know, as a human being, it can be such a great insecurity to some people if they do not have that. So for them to now know that a business was now created for them to help give them the illusion of having eyebrows, to make them just feel confident about themselves again, I don't see anything wrong with that, especially after seeing how happy they become knowing that they can actually get this done. I'm pretty sure that they are aware that it would have been better if it was their natural eyebrows, but at the same time it's not their fault that they don't have, but now this company came to them to cater to them so that they can actually feel good about themselves. So in that area, I fully support it. I've seen people get so happy about it. They just absolutely in love with themselves. It's just only a bit tricky if it's really, really from an insecurity point of view to a point where it's just a lack of self-love. And now you actually start adding all the other things like permanent red lipstick 24/7 or permanent, I don't know, just something so permanent, but that's because you want to really just maybe look better than your neighbor. Then I feel like that's when it becomes a problem, because I feel like the only help that person needed in that department was just to be shown that they are gorgeous, you know, despite what they hate about themselves. Because no matter what you don't like about yourselves, I promise you that there's always someone out there who wishes that they had that exact feature. So it's just a matter of seeing why it's like this, and then actually seeing who you are inspiring behind this that you see as like a deformity or something like that, and just embracing it. So like I said, I've seen two different opinions for it. So in this area, I absolutely support it, and in other areas, I feel like just starting with tattooing self-love first before getting a physical tattoo in that area to change something about themselves.